Hello, my noble band of outlaws. Outlaw Samurai coming at you live with another video. Well, last video I turned this thing into a Tachi mount. So, after finishing Michael Rizzo's video on Shin Gunto wearing, I decided I'd try a Shin Gunto mount and see if there is any plus or minus, pros or cons, to wearing the sword, wearing the Warrior O katana in this style. And we're up in the, well, outlaw garden as it was. The whole house is basically the shrine of the outlaw. And this is technically the, I guess, outlaw Zen garden. Like I said, Samurai Bird has Katana Land, and I would like to add the Temple of the Outlaws. One of these days we all need to get together and make like a D&D fantasy map. But in any case, as we can see, there's really no inconvenience to wearing the Shin Gunto. I mean, a katana like this. Now I will say that if I actually shake my hips, oh, so fancy. But if I shake my hips like this, you can see that the sword kinda does, but also kinda doesn't flop around. Like, just simply walking around like this, it's not really that big a deal, really. It doesn't really flop around any more or any less than the Tachi did, with the Tachi configuration, or when it's just in my obi belt. There's a woodpecker up there. You can hear the sound. Truck. Now, as for drawing the sword, I will say that this kind of mounting system actually facilitates a much cleaner and easier draw than the Tachi mount. Because with the Tachi mount, I had to come out like this. But with the Shin Gunto mounting system, I could draw it out much faster. Cut. Then bring my hands up into a guard. And I will be doing cutting video. I will be doing a bit of cutting in a moment. And I will not stop filming, just so you all know. But as per my grandmother and uncle's request, I'm not going to show you pretty much anything in the front yard. It's Memphis Tulip. But once we get back here, it's alright. I will say though, as I am walking with this, because of its length, it does kind of trip me up a little bit. Because of the length of the sword that I'm wearing in the mount. And just like the Tachi, this is pulling down, but this is a little bit bigger sword than a Shin Gunto. I know you're going to ask this, Outlaw Samurai. Why do you keep using the Warrior O katana for these demonstrations with the tachi and the shin gunto mounting that you came up with? Well, simply put, I'm using the Warrior O katana because it's the only sword that I have that has geometry and size equivalent to that of an actual tachi sword. It's got a big boy. We can thank Outlaw Wiccan for the surplus of Dr. Pepper bottles I have to cut. Sure, it's in the... Alright. That actually went a lot smoother. Now, the reason why I did it like that and flipped it up was because I was afraid of hitting the metal pole. So, just reposition ourselves a bit. As we can see, it's a very clean cut, not that bad. It does kind of scallop a bit, but that's to be expected. Not a whole lot of water on it. And one thing I should mention that I don't think I did was you can still push this out with your thumb, or if you wanted to, just flip it up and you can do Noto far easier with this kind of setup than with the tachi's fitting. And just like Michael Rizzo said in his video, if you wanted to, you can even flip this sword around like so. So it's not, well, it shouldn't be in your way, but because of how long this is, it could easily get tripped up between your legs. You can still do a draw cut and then bring the sword down. The tassel I have on this may get in the way a little bit, but you can still bring the sword down and use it relatively unencumbered, as we just saw with my draw slash. Now, personally, I do believe that this shin gunto style of mounting is a little superior to the tachi mounting style. And just so no one can say I'm blowing shit out my ass, as we've seen, I have demonstrated both a tachi mount and a shin gunto mount in these two videos. And this time, because it's not so windy, I can talk and film. It's just a light breeze. But I do believe that the shin gunto mount is a little bit better, just in terms of what it allows you to do. It still allows you to perform like Noto if you prefer. It lets you draw longer swords easier than if you had to do it the traditional manner. So if you use longer swords like me, the shin gunto mount is actually a very good mount to use. I will say there are a couple of cons. The length of blade you choose to use in comparison to your leg length. And what I mean by that is, as I was walking back here, this would fling up like so and step on my foot. It would swing back and get caught between my legs. So there is a chance that this could trip you up, and that would be a very bad hazard. But in this particular instance, the reason it's doing that is because the belt I have, not so much belt, but braided paracord sash, isn't strong enough to support the weight of this entire sword. So, there's that. And you may be wondering where I have this positioned. And I have it positioned right here underneath the koigata. So that not only is this in a good position to allow me to still get my hand here and perform the thumb push, but also because of where it's located, the koigata is also helping to support this leather, keeping it in place along with this paracord ito wrap, which I might have to untie and tighten this so it doesn't go completely loose on me. And this is the paracord sash. It might work better if I loop it around one more time to really get it into this corner so that it's holding up both corners of this metal ring. Like I said, this is just a piece of this is just a leather work belt loop that I bought from my local Menards for about $2 each. It's not the greatest in the world, but it will allow you to turn some of your longer swords into shin gunto or tachi, at least a very kind of redneck MacGyver sort of way. So tell me what you thought about my tachi and shin gunto kind of experiments in the comments below. I'll be uploading those videos either some point tonight or later, depending on when I have a chance to actually upload these. So, until next time, my noble band of outlaws, I love Samurai tells all y'all, be crazy rednecks, be safe and use your weapons. I'm out. Peace. And I hope you enjoy, and I hope you found this useful.